Hello, the Master here. Today I am going to explain the rest of the Forsaken Iceberg. If you haven't seen the first part, I recommend watching it first, since there are some topics that aren't going to be in this part obviously, and the reason I'm making this video is because I missed a lot of stuff. Also, instead of making new tiers, I'll just go all the way back to tier 1 to talk about some topics that are very well known. So with that being said, let's begin the iceberg. Jason removed. Jason was a killer for Forsaken and was the first killer you had upon joining the game. And well, for the people that aren't aware of Jason, well, Jason is literally from a movie, and that's very bad since, you know, copyright and all of that stuff. So in August 29, 2025, there was a redesign and an entire new character called Slasher. Although some of the lore remained the same to Jason's lore, some of the stuff had changed. For instance, Slasher being a bacon hair from The Last Guest, which was the same Roblox movie that Guest 1337 came from. So basically, some of the lore had changed and he was completely redesigned. But the abilities of the killer remained the same, and most of the skins too. John Doe and Jane Doe are a married couple. John Doe and Jane Doe were a couple before John Doe being corrupted by the Spectre. But despite of the corruption, John Doe is still a little bit aware of what's happening, since he still feels love for Jane Doe and refuses the Spectre's command to kill her. Guide Sudlaski skin. The Guide Sudlaski skin is a skin that can only be obtained by doing something in another Roblox game, which is Flood Escape 2, where you have to beat Classic Canyon on normal. The skin is obviously based on the guide from Flood Escape, and for some reason this skin never stops smiling, as he doesn't change his face when he's hurt or doing an emote. Guest 666. Guest 666 is the next killer that's going to Forsaken. This killer will be added when Veronica, an upcoming survivor, will also be added. Guest 666 is based on the Roblox legend and creepypasta with the same name, which talks about a guest that could have something like admin powers in every single game and also talk in the chat. This Roblox creepypasta dates all the way back to 2008, but just got really popular by the YouTuber named Obvious HD, which was the same YouTuber that made Last Guest, and he made a small series of animations where Guest 666 is the main villain. In Forsaken, Guest 666 will cost 1,666 player points, making him the most expensive killer of all the 5 in the game currently. And in the Forsaken lore, he was actually best friends with Noob in the past, but at some point, he just began to feel jealous and greed. But it is currently unknown of what happened, but we know that after Guest 666, friendship with Noob started to become way worse, which made him both of them making something really bad, and after that incident, Noob ran away from Guest 666. And sometime after this, Guest made a really bad decision, and he was banned by Builderman. Because of that ban, Noob never actually apologized to Guest, and that's about it in terms of lore. Veronica. Veronica will be the next survivor that's going to Forsaken, alongside the killer Guest 666. She's going to be a survivalist. She currently doesn't have any movesets revealed and no lore revealed, but one of the devs said in a Discord stage that people good with timing will be good playing as Veronica, so it seems that her abilities will probably rely on speed. Azure. Azure is an upcoming killer to Forsaken. He was 2 times friend before being transformed by the Spectre after being stabbed by 2-Time. And 2-Time and Azure are both from the same cult that believes in respawning. And 2-Time got a little bit too crazy about all of that cult and stabbed Azure, believing that he was granted the second life. Azure and 2-Time used to be friends. As I've said before, they were friends before 2-Time stabbing him. Jane Doe. Jane Doe is an upcoming survivor to Forsaken. Jane Doe is based on the account with the same name that became a popular Roblox urban legend in 2017 alongside John Doe. But in the Forsaken lore, Jane Doe is the wife of John Doe. Discord server. There's an official Discord server for Forsaken. In there, you can see devlogs and announcements about the game. There was a chat channel where you could talk, but that was closed down since the server became so popular that mods couldn't moderate the server. Ross's 313 collab. This was a collab between a Roblox ARG called Ross's 313 and Forsaken. And there was a skin for John Doe that was one of the characters of the ARG, but it was completely removed from the game after the creator didn't want it to be in the game anymore. Purple Guy Cool Kid skin. Purple Guy Cool Kid skin is a skin that actually doesn't have a name, and this is only a fan-made name. Anyways, this skin is a skin that is going to Forsaken or maybe not. Well, it's complicated since this skin has been teased months ago, and after that it never got teased again or was ever in the game publicly, so it's unknown what's the state of this skin, but it is most likely scrapped. Artist skins. This is certain skins for the survivors that can only be obtained by making an art for the posters in the lobby. Template. Template was a map that was previously available to play in only private servers, but it's now removed. But in this map you had to collect unused tokens in the same way you would have collected pumpkins, which was an objective that I've already talked about in part 1. But this map is now playable in Forsaken Archived, which is an older version of Forsaken that was made public by the official dev team. And speaking of that game, Forsaken Archived. Forsaken Archived is a game made by the official Forsaken dev team, which is a version of Forsaken from December 2024, or from the 1.0.1 update. Although this game is not completely accurate to that version, because of permission reasons, so some of the stuff had to be removed or replaced. Sonic.exe. Sonic.exe was a scrapped killer and it's based off a creepypasta with the same name. It was planned to be added to Forsaken, but it was scrapped because it was very difficult to balance him, and permissions being pulled by John Doe Boy, which is the current owner of Sonic.exe. Sonic.exe was also one of the first killers to be added to Forsaken when it was in development. Slenderman. Slenderman is upcoming killer to Forsaken, and it was based off a creepypasta with the same name. This is also one of the killers that was first added to Forsaken when it was in development, but still didn't release to the public. And weirdly enough, this killer already has two models. This is the old version, which was more of a Roblox style, and the new one is more modernized. Jeff the Killer. Jeff the Killer is an upcoming killer to Forsaken that was also based off a creepypasta. His appearance in Forsaken reminds a lot of the design in Survive and Kill the Killers in Area 51, a really old Roblox game. This killer too was already being done when Forsaken was in development, and his movement was mostly finished, and even having intro already for Jeff. Doombringer. Doombringer is an upcoming killer to Forsaken that was based off a Roblox admin named Mr. Doombringer, and since Builderman and Zelensky are people that work on Roblox, they are going to be important for Doombringer's lore. And basically what happened with Doombringer is that Doombringer thinks that the other Roblox admins are corrupt, and he was the only one that brought justice to the game. And this is mostly because of the Spectre's influence. And Doombringer will most likely have custom LMS with both Builderman and Zelensky. iTrapped. It is currently unknown if iTrapped will be an upcoming killer or survivor, but he was important to Trance's old lore, since Trance lore is being remade now, so it is unknown what's the current state of this character, as he might change lore completely. Yellow's One Wrath. Yellow's One Wrath is a map that was recently added in the Slasher update. However, this map can only be played in private servers, although this map was also meant for people that brought VIP Game Pass, but people that didn't brought VIP Game Pass can play it too, weirdly enough. Key After Key. Key After Key is one of the composers of Forsaken, and probably the most popular one. He made the Cool Kid chase theme, Mafioso chase theme, Bleeds, and a bunch more. JD1DX1 Nolly skin. JD1DX1 is a skin for Nolly that will be coming in the future. This skin is based on the Roblox ARG named I Has a Face LOLs, and this skin is one of the characters in that ARG, the Bandlands. The Bandlands is an upcoming map to Forsaken, and it's based by a meme that the Roblox community made about where the banned users of Roblox appears after they get banned. And this map may possibly be released alongside Doombringer, since he literally has a ban hammer in his hands. Dignity Nolly skin. Dignity is a skin for Nolly that was based off a Roblox exploiter. This skin was made before Nolly released, and he still isn't in the game, most likely because his current design was scrapped. King. King is an upcoming killer to Forsaken. It comes from the Roblox game Combat Initiation that appears as a mini-boss. There's not much revealed about this killer, not even his lore, but we already have his intro, and this is probably going to be the biggest killer by size. Charlatan. Charlatan is an upcoming killer to Forsaken. She is going to be based off a really old Roblox game named Epic Minigames. She also appeared in a map which was Pirate Bay as a graffiti, and she's probably going to be the first female killer that's going to Forsaken. And not a lot was revealed yet. Flowers. Flowers, or also called This, is an upcoming killer that comes from the Roblox horror series named Roblox Whistle Occurrence by Vibing Leaf. Not much is known about what's going to be his lore in Forsaken, and there isn't too much info about him still. Martial Artist. Martial Artist is a dev-only Sentinel survivor, and his abilities are Quick Attack, which make him go on a straight line and deals 100 damage, and the other ability is Combo, that made him beat whatever attack lands on, dealing something like 100 or 105 damage. Map variants. Map variants are different versions of already existing maps. Currently there's 3 map variants. There's Blue World, which is a variant of Cool Carnival, Memories Underground War, which is a variant of Underground War, and New Glass Houses, which is a variant of Glass Houses, of course. The Ringmaster. The Ringmaster is an upcoming survivor to Forsaken, and it will be the first survivor that is a mix of survivalist, sentinel, and support. This character is still very unfinished, so there isn't too much about him. Stickmaster Luke. Stickmaster Luke is an upcoming survivor to Forsaken. He's based on the Roblox admin and developer, which is more known for making natural disaster survival. I think there's people that didn't even know he was an admin. Anyway, it was confirmed that he is going to be a support, and most likely his abilities will be related to the natural disaster survival tools. Clockwork. Clockwork is an upcoming survivor that is based on a Roblox admin. Not much is known about him currently, but we do know that his model is already done. Cool Killer. Cool Killer is an upcoming killer to Forsaken. He is based on an old cartoon mascot named the Cool Aid Man, and Cool Killer is inspired on their old Roblox asymmetrical horror game called Cool Killer. And fun fact, Cool Killer was one of the first models to be teased alongside John Doe, the Bomber. The Bomber is a scrapped killer to Forsaken that was very inspired by the Roblox game Super Bomb Survival, but that inspiration had to be toned down because Polyhex, the creator of said Roblox game, pulled the permissions, but it was before it was scrapped. Zombie King. Zombie King is an upcoming killer to Forsaken that's inspired by several classic zombie Roblox games. It currently doesn't have any lore revealed, and he might change designs in the future, but it was revealed his original chase theme on a video by the original owner of Forsaken when the game was called Damnation. Damnation. Damnation was the original name of Forsaken when it was owned by the original owner named Balsicrosis? I don't know how to say that. There were different killers planned when it was owned by him, but the name Damnation had to be changed since Roblox didn't allow the name, so it was changed to Forsaken. The Cataclysm. The Cataclysm is an upcoming killer to Forsaken that's inspired by the weather machine from Natural Disaster Survival, and it was confirmed that the machine was built by Stickmaster Luke. And there will be most likely a special LMS team for both of them, since Stickmaster Luke is literally the creator of the Cataclysm. Catalog Haven. Catalog Haven is an upcoming map to Forsaken that's based on the Roblox game with the same name that was popular a really long time ago. Cake Factory. Cake Factory is an upcoming map to Forsaken that will be based on a Roblox game named Make a Cake. Not much is known about this map, sadly, since there's only one teaser about this map that was teased on the Devslog channel. The Stalker. The Stalker is a dev-only killer that was based on a Roblox game named The Stalker Reborn. Although this is a dev-only killer, there might be a chance that he could return as an upcoming killer, so we just have to wait for what happens. Blue. Blue is a scrapped killer that comes from the Roblox game named Rainbow Friends. But when the Forsaken dev team asked for permission to use his character, the developers of Rainbow Friends just didn't reply. Dracobloxer. Dracobloxer is an upcoming killer to Forsaken that originates from an old Roblox game named Build or Survive Dracobloxers. Despite not being in the game yet, there's already a lot of cameos about him in a bunch of maps in Forsaken. Phosphoros. Phosphoros will be an upcoming killer to Forsaken. Very little is known about him, and there's only concept arts about him, and not models. Although he had two old designs that were scrapped, which was this design, and this older design of them. The Masked and the Decayed. I'll just make both of them into one topic. So the Masked is an upcoming killer to Forsaken that is based on Tom from the Roblox game Welcome to Bloxburg, and that's all we know. The Masked is an upcoming killer to Forsaken that is based on the Lumberman from the Roblox game Lumber Tycoon 2, and we don't know a lot about him too. Bloxburg News Reporter Guy. Bloxburg News Reporter Guy is an upcoming survivor that will be a support. He comes from the Roblox game Bloxburg, and he most likely will have a special last man standing team with the Masked, since both of them are from the same Roblox game. Guest 1458. Guest 1458 is an upcoming killer to Forsaken, and is presumably going to have connections with Guest 1337 and Slasher, but we don't have a lot revealed about him, not even a concept art. Snowball Brown 1. Snowball Brown 1 is a scrapped map that was based on a game that was featured in a Roblox ARG named CL Directory web series, but it was eventually scrapped due to the permissions being pulled, and it will never come back to Forsaken. By the way, this is totally unrelated, but I actually played the original game in this video over here, without even knowing it was from an ARG. Pet Noni Simulator. Pet Noni Simulator is a scrapped map that was based on the game Pet Noni Simulator. This map actually had a different objective, which was the Pet Noni objective. But this was scrapped because of permission reasons and because of Noni getting exposed. Camp Crystal Lake. Camp Crystal Lake is a scrapped map that was from a location from the Friday the 13th movie. And well, it was scrapped because of copyrights. Yeah. Military Base. Military Base is a scrapped map that was actually a fan-made map that got approved to be in the game by the former owner of Forsaken, but is now scrapped and won't go to the game anymore. Cold Reception / Wilderness. Cold Reception, or also known as Wilderness, is a scrapped map that was sort of a collab with the Post-Mortem devs, but it was eventually scrapped. Stan. Stan may be an upcoming character to Forsaken. It is uncertain if it is going to the game or not, and we don't even know what he's going to be in Forsaken, but it will be most likely a killer. And Stan came from the Roblox game named Isle, and also appears in the game Identity Fraud. And previously, Stan was just a kid for a cool kid, before being revealed that Stan will no longer be a skin anymore. Code System. Code System is a feature that will be added to Forsaken in the future. For the people that don't know, a lot of Roblox games had these features, in which you typed a certain code in the code redeem and it will give certain stuff in the game. Hatred. Hatred is a scrapped killer that came from the Roblox game Block Tales, and this was an interesting killer since the killer will be 2D instead of 3D. But it was scrapped because of the allegations that the former owner of Forsaken received in the March 18th incident that I'll talk about later. Gatekeeper. Gatekeeper, also known as Sunny, was confirmed that he was going to be added to Forsaken, although it was later scrapped since it was found out that the previous owner of Forsaken greenlit the killer without the permissions of the other developers, and the killer was eventually moved to another Roblox game called Terror Realm that didn't release yet. Entity Fraud Identities. Entity Fraud is a horror game on Roblox, and when Forsaken was still called Damnation, the old owner thought of adding identities from that game, although they were never mentioned after and was scrapped. Cerulean. Cerulean is a scrap survivor that was going to be a support/survivalist character, but Cerulean is going to be replaced because of the controversy surrounding their creator and the design being taken from someone else's character. March 18th incident. This incident refers to something that happened with the now former owner of Forsaken, which was Soul-Driven Love, that was exposed for doing a lot of weird stuff. For instance, he hosted a charity event for the game, but all the money just went for him instead. He also manipulated people, made sexual harassment, and more weird stuff that he did. But thankfully, Forsaken was saved, since now the game is being owned by Hytoko and Basil. It's very disgusting that people like Soul-Driven Love is still roaming around freely and not in prison. Phew, alright, that was the part 2 of the Forsaken Iceberg. I hope y'all enjoyed this part, since part 1 didn't have a lot of stuff in it, so I decided to make this part. I also took a lot of info from the Forsaken wiki, and with that being said, I'll be ending the video here. I hope y'all enjoyed a lot watching this video, and goodbye.